All right, guys, welcome back. We are doing a virtual Bloomington Buddies episode. We are both on spring break. Quincy currently at home, and so am I. So we don't live too terribly far from each other, but we still wanted to kind of get you guys out a bracket video before the tournament starts tomorrow. Officially, the rest of the placement games are tonight, which is going to be, what is it, Arizona State and Mississippi State, and
No,
then,
I screwed this up. It's supposed to be like this.
oh, that's
It's
right. Yeah,
Arizona
that's right.
State and Nevada, and then Texas Southern and
Southern
Fairfield.
and yeah, I was gonna say because we already saw Pitt win and we saw the Islanders win, so those two are set in stone. Dude, that Pitt game was so good. Like I
Yeah,
actually
that
didn't
was
think
a
that
good
I
game.
would see a first four game that was actually decent, and that was a
The
good game.
playing games were really good last year. I know.
Yeah, well, that's because IU actually won it, and then they got destroyed in the first round. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing this. This is gonna be. I mean, we're not gonna probably be on here for like an hour and a half like we are usually for our Bloomington Buddies episodes, but this will still be a pretty in-depth video talking about what we're gonna see. Um, I don't know. We may attempt to do one. I don't know if we're gonna do one for women's. I might on my own. It's just that's a lot of work to do to go back through. Um, but I don't know. When are you going back to Bloomington?
I haven't decided that yet. Probably Sunday morning.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I'm going back Saturday, which works out because luckily they moved the game since IU got number one seed to Saturday, so I can go to the game.
I'll probably go Monday when they play the 8 or 9 seed.
Yeah, because I ended up just having to get a refund for my second ticket, which made me mad because they were trying to charge me so much money for it, and I wasn't gonna use it, so I was like, um,
So what we're planning on doing today is if you watched my video, you already know my picks, but Eddie will go through his bracket and I can go
correct.
through mine if you didn't see mine. Also, the link to my bracket challenge, the Quincyville Sports one, is in the description of this video, so make sure you go click that and join if you haven't already.
Yeah, I'll put ours down there too, our Bloomington Buddies one. I know I got Jackson to join our fabulous producer, so
I
we'll
know.
have that down
I
there.
think about 160 of you have already joined the
QBS one,
Quincyville
yeah, they
Sports.
did.
But
Um,
since they don't know your picks yet, do you want to go through yours first?
I can. I mean, mine are gonna be. I will say a lot of people seem to agree with me, but it's also like I also kind of hate that. I hate that my picks always end up being the ones that everybody agrees with. I like the ones that are kind of outlandish, but yeah, we'll go ahead. I'll go through it. We'll start with the South just because it's number one seed. Alabama Islanders. Though Alabama is not, in my opinion, the number one seed. I think it's kind of obvious. Alabama's got the home field. They're in Birmingham. They got home court. They're gonna win that game pretty easy. This next game, I'm actually shocked West Virginia got nine. I think Maryland will probably win this pretty doggone easily again. They looked really good in the Big Ten tournament. I mean, I know we beat them, but like they actually looked pretty decent, so I was
They're
impressed.
a good team, and
Um,
I also agree that what I don't think West Virginia is that great. I mean, Maryland only allows 63 points a game. I mean,
yeah,
they're
yeah, they
very
do. They're actually a really good Big Ten team, and
and they have a winning record against top 25. They're 5-4.
correct. And I honestly like. I'll talk about it in a minute, but I'm. They could honestly possibly beat Alabama, but we'll see. This next game is honestly the one that I think is going to be the closest, which a lot of people are shocked about. I still think San Diego State's going to pull it out just because they have looked good in these last couple of weeks. But like, if there's one team that I feel like this year is going to be the Cinderella story, I can definitely see it being Charleston. Um, Virginia, and I don't even know who that other team is.
Furman.
Furman, yeah, no, I'm taking VU. Um, I personally am not a big fan of VU, but they'll win that. Next one, Creighton. Creighton is a good team. They are gonna. I can honestly see them going far in this bracket. The only problem is, it's just like Alabama has like the easiest road because all the hard teams are on this side, and so they're gonna all go after each other. So, Baylor and UCSB. I'm gonna say Baylor's gonna win that one pretty easy. Baylor also has looked good. I mean, they choked last time they were a high seed, so we'll see if they can pull that out. Um, Utah State, Missouri. I'm actually taking Utah State here. I think Missouri just got kind of lucked out with their schedule and they looked good, but like they haven't played a team that I feel has been like they proved themselves. So Utah State, I think they can pull that off. And then Arizona, and I think it's what is that? I don't even know who that is. Is it? It's Princeton?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that they had that color. Yeah, I'm taking Arizona. I mean, it's pretty obvious there. Purdue and FDU, or Texas Southern. As I hate them. Purdue's going to win that game no matter what. Memphis and FAU. I'm taking FAU here. A lot of people have like in their what they were saying is like their second bracket, they have Memphis going to the Final Four, and like no, I think FAU could honestly carry quite a bit in this tournament. Oral Roberts and Duke. Talk about how much I want Oral Roberts to win again, but I think Duke will win. As much as I hate to say it, Oral Roberts is nowhere near as good as they were last year, and Duke's got hot at the end. Tennessee and who is the Raging Cane? I don't even remember what team is that.
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Okay, yeah, no, I'm taking Tennessee still. Um, so yeah, Tennessee and Duke will actually be one of the best matchups, I think. Providence and UK, I'm taking UK. They still don't look great, but I still think that they can beat Providence. Taking K State here. Um, they talk about a team that has like kind of slept all year and then kind of came out at the end. They look really good. Um, Michigan State USC. I was really torn on this, but I'm gonna take Michigan State. I think it's that one is like the one that I feel like I won't be mad either way, and I won't be shocked either way. And then Marquette is gonna win that one pretty easily. Marquette looks amazing right now.
Oh, they look really good.
All right. Do you want me to go back down? Do you just want to do all the first rounds? Okay,
Yeah,
Houston. I mean Houston's winning that. It's pretty straightforward there. Um, oh, excuse me. Now this next game I'm gonna get a lot of hate for because I was a great shooting team. I'm still taking Auburn just because once again they are playing in Birmingham. Like you're giving both Alabama teams home field advantage or home
I
court
was really
advantage.
surprised that they did
It's
that.
so they did it on purpose, but I think it's so stupid. But yeah, so I'm gonna take Auburn there. Miami looks ridiculous right now. They're gonna win that game pretty easily. And Miami is probably, I would say, going into the tournament one of the hottest teams, which is why I'm so mad that IU will win against Kent State. I think we'll beat them pretty easily, and then we have to play Miami. So I say IU wins.
A lot of people are taking Kent State.
What's so funny is actually what a lot of people are taking Kent State, which surprised me because Kent State is like they're decent, but like they're not good. I don't think they're gonna beat us. Um, but what's so
The thing
funny?
with Kent State is they like to play. They like to get into like real ugly looking games. Like
True,
they
and then
like
they
they
come
beat
out.
they lost to Houston like 45 to like 40 or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we'll see how that goes. I mean, like if IU loses, it's not like I was expecting them to go super far anyway. But um, I will say this is actually the only matchup where both the men and the women's team could see the same matchup in the round of 32. Because the women's team, if they win their game, they play the winner of Miami and somebody else, and Miami is favored to win that. Um, So Iowa State Pitt looks really good, but I'm gonna still take Iowa State. I think the Cyclones look really good. They looked good in the tournament last year as well, so I mean I'll be impressed to see how far they go. Xavier is ridiculous. Honestly, they are the team that they deserve to be better than IU. I know we beat them, but like they're so good. A&M and Penn State. I'm actually taking Penn State here. Penn State just looks so good in the Big Ten tournament. They've got
I
the
was at
momentum.
I was at the three games that they played before they played Purdue. I was at the three games before that, and they won all three of them, and they looked
Yeah, I
really
know
good.
they're actually so, and I don't even think the loss to Purdue was a bad loss. It's just they don't have any height, which is why I mean, like when you play Purdue, if you don't have somebody that's at least like 6'7", 6'8" that can play in the paint, Zach Edey's just gonna stand there and post up. Like there's nothing you can do about it. You can be the best shooting team in the league, and you're still not going to get very far. And then obviously I'm taking Texas here. I mean, I would love to see Colgate going on a run, but I doubt it. All right, next up. I'm taking the Jayhawks. The Jayhawks have looked really good closing out the year as well. They are actually the team that I think should be number one. There is no distinct number one in my opinion, but I think that they should have gotten the number one. Um, actually, here I'm taking Arkansas. Everybody kind of gives me hate for that because they're like, no, no, Illinois is the better team. Arkansas surprised us last year too. They beat Baylor. They looked really good, so I'm excited to see how they do in this tournament. Um, I'm actually taking St. Mary's. They beat us last year when they were number five. They actually look really good. Um, UConn is my sleeper team coming into the tournament. They're still a number four, so they're not super low. But like everybody's like, this is the team that like if they go to the Final Four, I'm not shocked. Um, here I okay, so I say this: if Nevada wins, I'm taking TCU. If Arizona State wins, I honestly think they could beat TCU. Arizona State has looked pretty good against big teams this year. They've almost beat almost every team they've played. They've like lost on buzzer beaters what twice.
True.
So um, I think Arizona State wins this if they beat TCU or if they beat Nevada. If they don't, then I'm taking TCU. But for now, yeah, we'll say Arizona State. Um, Gonzaga will win that pretty easy. Doesn't doesn't shock me. They always come out big in the tournament. They'll probably lose in like 2 rounds though. Um, Next up, I'm taking Northwestern. They looked decent throughout the year. We'll see if they can continue that. And then finally, I'm taking UCLA. They also look like a really good team right now. There's just so many teams that are just so hot coming into the tournament. It's going to end for one of them, and then we'll just see. All right, so next round, I'm trying to remember all my picks off the top of my head. I'm not gonna lie. I have Alabama winning just because I think it's in Birmingham again, isn't it? Aren't the first 2 rounds in Birmingham?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean you're gonna get home advantage there. Um, Next up, I'm taking San Diego State. Virginia is not as good as they are listed as. Like they're not. They've lost some pretty crappy games this year, so I'm taking San Diego State to win that. Creighton and Baylor. This is actually if I hang on, let me double check because I don't want to mess that up. I think I honestly have I do have Baylor beating Creighton. I honestly don't. That's a toss-up game for me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, but I'm gonna say Baylor, just because I think they look hot and they kind of are out for revenge after last year. And then I'm taking Arizona. I think Arizona will pull that off. All right. Next up, I had sadly I have Purdue winning against FAU. I think FAU if they beat Purdue, I'm super happy. But I think Purdue is just kind of got Purdue honestly has one of the easiest ways to the Elite Eight, to be honest. Um, After that, I take Tennessee over Duke. I think that Tennessee is not the best team, but I honestly think that Duke is just riding the hype right now. Um, let's see. After that, I have K State beating UK, and then I have Marquette. Obviously, Marquette is probably like if my team that I have winning doesn't win, Marquette should win. They're ridiculous. All right, next up, I had Houston. I know they're playing in Birmingham again, but I still think that Houston is just they're not great, but they're better than Auburn. Um, Now I know I'm a Hoosier and I love the team, but Miami's gonna win this. I'm sorry, Miami is just too hot. They look too good. Um, TJD, I wish could go further in his final year, but I think even most Hoosiers are in agreement that if we have to play Miami, we're not gonna win that game.
My thing with Miami though is they don't have a good big man.
You don't, but they also
They run a very small lineup. I feel like Trace would have a field day if he played Miami.
yeah, but Miami's a really good shooting team. So, and we obviously can't play against shooting teams, as Iowa proved to us at Assembly Hall. Um, they were not going easy on us. But we'll see. That will definitely probably be one of my favorite games of the tournament, just because it's going to be a really good matchup if it happens. Um, all right, next up, what is it? Iowa State and who? I
Iowa
don't remember who.
State is Xavier.
Xavier. I'm taking Xavier. Xavier's too good right now. They've looked good all year. I know we beat them at their home, but they're still a great team. Penn State, Texas. I'm taking Texas. I think uh Texas is honestly probably in my opinion, besides Arizona, the best number two. Oh no, I take that back. Marquette. Marquette is the best number two. All right. Next up, what is it? Oh, Kansas, Arkansas. I'm taking Kansas. Kansas is too good. Um, St. Mary's and UConn. I am taking UConn. UConn is amazing. Talking about another team that could possibly see. We could have another time when both UConn men's and women's team wins. Um, Arizona State, Gonzaga. I'm taking Gonzaga. They're they're they do this every year. They go through the first 2 rounds, make it to the Sweet 16. Everybody's like, oh yeah, they're winning, and then they choke. All right, UCLA, Northwestern taking UCLA. All right. Up next, who do
You
we
got a
got?
lot of. You have a lot of chalk. Do you have 1, 2, 3, 4 for all of them? You
No,
have.
I have
This
five.
is a, this is a lot of chalk. I'll say.
Yeah, no, I definitely have like a lot of fives, and I think I have two number fives in
You
there at
you have
least.
1, 2, 3, 4 in all of them, except you have two fives.
Yeah, I do. Well, because at first I thought about putting Creighton over Baylor, but the problem is I just feel like Creighton is like actually one of the more favored teams to go. So I feel like they're gonna ride the hype and they're gonna choke. Um, but if Creighton wins, I won't be mad. Like if my bracket gets messed up because of that, because I have Baylor losing here anyway. So I'm gonna take Alabama. I think San Diego State is just not good enough to match up with some of their shooters. Um,
Shooters.
yeah, huh?
Never mind.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I made the joke on purpose. Anyway, by the way, the fact that Miller still made first all team pisses me off. I'm not even gonna lie. And I'm taking Arizona. I think Arizona is really good right now. Um, so next up, who do we have? I don't remember who I have up in the next region. Oh, Purdue, Tennessee, Tennessee. I'm still taking Purdue here. Purdue and Alabama have the easiest road to the Elite Eight. They really do. Like, there's not a single team that I feel is gonna beat either of them. Here I'm actually taking Marquette. I think Marquette is by and far the best team in this uh in the East. Um
I will say I'd rather see Purdue win than Alabama. If I'm being
oh
honest.
no, I wouldn't. I would never rather see Purdue win
I would
anything.
rather see Purdue win than Alabama.
It's okay. They're neither of them are gonna win,
And
so it
I
doesn't
stand
matter. Here I'm taking Houston. I know Houston's hype is ridiculous, and but I mean, again, they have a pretty easy road. Miami is going to be the hardest team they face probably. Um, all right, here I'm taking Xavier. Actually, I think Xavier is better than Texas. I mean, Texas is good, but Xavier has just been really hot at the end of the season. Here I'm taking Kansas. UConn is sadly going to have their Cinderella, I guess, finals hopes diminished by the Jayhawks. And then here I'm taking UCLA. Gonzaga is never as good as they seem. All right, here I'm taking Arizona. I think Arizona is going to beat Alabama. Um, they're not going to be in Birmingham anymore, and Alabama does not deserve to be the number one overall team. Um, all right, and then I think Marquette is beating Purdue. I can't stand Purdue. I think that Purdue hasn't had to face a team where they've actually had to be challenged, like at all. Um, they went up against a team again in Penn State in the Big Ten championship where they had nobody that could guard Zach Edey because they're all small.
The thing
So
about Purdue's Big Ten run is they played the 9 seed, the 13 seed, and the 10 seed.
that's what I'm saying. Like they did. Well, it's not even that because like don't get me wrong, the 10
I mean,
seed beat
like they
us
still
and they were
won,
good,
but
but like they've literally had to play nobody that had a man that could guard anybody on it. Like Zach Edey is the only reason they're winning games. You take him out of that lineup, that rest of the team can't do anything. I saw something the other day that the literally it said the last time a team there's never been a team with four players on on the roster that average under 8 points per game that has won a championship, and Purdue is one of the two teams in the or in the tournament that is doing that. So Zach Edey is literally carrying that team right now. Um, on the other side, excuse me, I'm taking Houston. I like Xavier, but I just feel like even though Houston kind of struggled at the end, I feel like they're gonna make a run. Um,
and your last one was Kansas UCLA.
Was that it? Okay. I want to make sure I have this right. Oh, wait. Oh, dude, I messed this up. I'm not even gonna lie. That's okay. I forgot I changed my bracket. Hang on. I messed that up big time. I actually have Miami beating Houston and then Miami going to the into the Final Four.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I thought that I had something that was not usual. It was Miami. I
Why?
have
Why am
Miami
I?
beating.
I've been real high on Miami all year. Why Miami?
I just feel like I said earlier, they've got some really good shooters, and that's why I was like, wait a second. I was like, do I have Houston beating them? I mean, I just feel like they have some really good shooters. I feel like they're really good with their ball movement, which is something that like you see a lot in the NBA, but like in college, it's very like you just do a screen and then you try to shoot a shot. But like they are really good with ball movement. They're really
See,
good with
I like
spacing.
Miami too, but what I realized is their defense is kind of subpar.
Correct, but
I don't
like
know if their defense is good enough to get them to the Final Four.
yeah, but like Houston doesn't have the greatest defense either. They've just really relied on the fact that they played a bunch of crappy
Houston's
teams.
ranked, I think, top 10 in offense and defense, but then again, they didn't
I
play
was getting
very
ready
good.
to say they didn't play anybody that was like super
All right,
crazy.
and then you got
And then I have
Kansas.
Kansas winning. The only number one seed that I think survives. Um, and then I think I just want to make sure I get this right. Crap. Okay, I have Arizona winning against Marquette, and I have Kansas beating Miami.
Hold on, I'll get it in a minute. You have Arizona and Kansas.
Arizona and Kansas.
Okay.
And then my champion for 2023 is the Kansas Jayhawks. Um, I just feel like they've been the best all around team this year. They are the only one that I would say could be a true number one. Like none of the other teams have like been consistent at all. They had quite a few games where they were decently consistent. I know they lost some big games this year and they've looked bad in a lot of games, but out of the number one teams, they're the only one I can say deserves to be a number one. Um, so yeah, I'm taking the Jayhawks. I think that they're the best team right now.
Okay, so I like your bracket. I think your Final Four's got like enough high seeds, and you got Miami in there, so it's not just like all number ones.
Well, I
You
hate when people do that.
you didn't pick like any upsets though. I feel like.
I didn't pick any upsets because I don't feel like there's an upset that's gonna. The only ups. Okay, there are. I would say, like I said, there are two upsets I feel like are major that could actually happen. I think Charleston could beat San Diego State. They're a decent team.
I don't. I just feel like none of the teams are like really impressive. So I feel like there's gonna be like a ton. Like I feel like more than most years. I feel like there's just gonna be
Maybe.
a lot.
And I feel like Creighton could honestly go for quite a while. Like if Creighton went to the Elite Eight, I wouldn't be shocked. There are a lot of teams that like I feel like, and like I honestly feel like FAU could upset Purdue. I feel like UK could beat K State. I mean, there are a lot of upsets I feel could happen. Northwestern maybe beating UCLA, but it's just like if I'm being realistic based on the the schedule just seems pretty interesting. I honestly Pitt could beat Iowa State. That wouldn't be a shocker to me.
All right. Have you seen my picks yet or no?
Yeah, I watched your video, but I don't know if you changed it since then.
I did. Okay, I didn't change it, but I'm gonna go through mine. And you can. Okay, so of this Final Four, I only have one that's the same, and it's Marquette.
Yeah, I know you have Marquette in there because I'm pretty sure you have
So
Marquette in your
Marquette
finals,
is the
don't you?
only. I'll start with the East. Okay, I agree with Purdue here. I think Duke loses to Oral Roberts because
I so hope so. I hate like Duke is just the team that Duke is the New England Patriots of college basketball. The only reason you like Duke is because you went there or you live near there.
I like Oral Roberts just because they have Max Asmus who could shoot basically anywhere on the
He's
court, and
ridiculous.
they have a dude that's 7'5" that can shoot threes. Cotter Van,
Yes.
look him up.
Dude, I'm
And
kind of mad. By the way, can we just talk a second? Because did you watch the game yesterday against Villanova and Liberty? The fact that Liberty didn't make the tournament is bizarre. Liberty is good.
yeah, okay. So and then I'll go one step further, and I think they beat Tennessee too because Tennessee has Zakai Ziegler hurt, and I
Oh,
don't
that's
know,
right.
and I
That's
don't think
actually a
they're
good point.
and I don't think they're going to be able to do that well. I almost took Louisiana to beat them, but I looked. Louisiana is by far the worst 13 seed. I think Iona's better than them. Kent State, and Furman are all better than them. I don't think they're good enough. And then the only other thing I would change here is I took Kentucky over
That was
Marquette.
the toss up for me. Yeah, I wasn't for sure if they would.
I took Kentucky over Kansas State. That can go either way. I feel like okay, so our East was almost the same.
Yeah, you just had a lot more of Oral
Okay,
Roberts in there.
South. I
You do
took
have San Diego State losing.
I
Okay.
actually took both of these. I took Furman and Charleston.
Really?
And so I think Charleston's pretty easy because this game is going to be held in New York. It's in the same one with IU.
Okay.
And that's a far travel for San Diego State, and Charleston's going to be not that far.
That's fair.
So
That's
I
fair.
think Charleston wins that one because the Mountain West, I think, went winless last year in the tournament. They had like 4 or 5 teams in.
Well, that's
And
what
I
I
took
said. This is the one game that I can see being an upset. Like I totally get that.
all right, and I took the reason I took Furman is because Virginia was upset multiple times this year. They lost to Boston College. They lost to like other teams that
That's
weren't
fair.
very good. Every year they either go really far or get upset. And Furman is a team that they're very efficient on offense and they shoot the three really well. So I think that they can definitely pull this one off. And then in this game, I think Charleston would beat them. So
Interesting.
that's one thing I would change.
So
I
you're
don't
having
think
two number
Arizona.
12 seeds go on to the elite or to the Sweet 16. Interesting.
Okay. I also agree with Utah State. I did pick Creighton here.
Okay, yeah, like I said, there's so many picks that I think we had just that were just like
My
interchangeable.
problem with Baylor is their defense is terrible. They're ranked like
Fair.
in the 90s defensively.
Hmm.
I like to pick teams that are well rounded. And I did take Creighton here too, since they're also very well
Interesting.
rounded.
Okay.
They played Arizona earlier in the year and lost by 3.
Okay. Well, no, so
So I think that
you're
they
taking
could
my
beat them the
runner up to
second
be
time
out in
around.
the Sweet 16.
What'd you say?
Ooh, you said you're taking my runner up to be out in the Sweet 16?
Okay, and then I
Ooh.
took Creighton to beat Alabama too. I
Okay.
took I took them
I,
all the way.
that's the most likely Cinderella story if I'm being realistic.
I think Creighton is about it. So I have a Big East matchup over here.
That would honestly be one of the best games of the tournament. Marquette against Creighton.
So I
That'd
have
be
them there.
crazy.
Okay, this region I have completely different.
I
Okay,
figured.
I took Houston. I did take Auburn. The first round, I think I have almost the exact same. Okay, I took Houston. I took Auburn. I took Miami. I took IU. I took Iowa State. I actually took Kennesaw State, and I'll tell you why.
No way over Xavier?
I think Xavier's by far the weakest 3 seed. I think Baylor's better than them. I think Gonzaga and K State are better than them.
No way, dude.
Kennesaw State
Xavier's
played
better
IU.
than Baylor.
Kennesaw State played IU and almost beat them. You're talking about how good Liberty is. Kennesaw State beat Liberty like 3 times.
Well, Xavier also almost beat us too.
I think Kennesaw State, they shoot the 3 really well. They will bomb you from deep.
Yeah, but Xavier's got some pretty good defense.
They got trashed by Marquette in their conference championship. I don't like what I
Marquette
see
is the
out.
best 2 seed in my opinion, besides maybe Arizona, and I think that they're close.
Okay, I don't know. Here's the thing. I think Iowa State is better than Xavier anyway. So even if I took Xavier, I would have them losing here. So I feel like this is a low risk pick. Like you know
Fair.
what I'm
I
saying?
guess. Yeah, because it's not going to really cost you many points.
Okay, I did take Penn State and I did take Texas here. Okay, here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Okay,
You actually think Auburn? Okay.
I took IU over Miami.
Okay,
I think
I mean, I'm happy with that. If I lose because if I don't get a point because of that, I'm fine with it. But
okay, and then I did do this, and
you
I'll tell
think
you why I did
the
this.
home court?
The home court, and every year there's an 8 or 9 seed that beats a 1. There's at least one every year.
Yeah, that's why I have. Didn't I have? Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, no, I have Purdue beating them.
And I think that's the most likely. I don't think Kansas is losing to Art. Maybe it could be this game, but I don't think so.
I
I
hope
think Purdue
not.
will easily beat one of these two, and I think Alabama will easily beat one of these two.
I
This
don't
is
know.
the one I
Maryland
feel
is
like
going to
has
be
the most
struggle.
likely chance of happening.
That's fair. Yeah, especially since it's home court.
So,
So you think
and then I
IU is
took
going to go?
and then
Wow.
I took IU to beat Auburn,
Okay.
and then I think Texas beats Iowa State. It's not selecting the number 2. Hold
I
on.
am happy that we're on the opposite side from Purdue though, because I would love to have a Purdue IU national championship. That'd be amazing.
Okay. Now I went back and forth on this game for a long time because I do think Texas is the better team. I think they're better. They look better, but I only applied to 2 schools out of high
Oh,
school,
yeah, that's right.
and they were IU and Texas. And I am not. I can't pick Texas to beat IU
That's great.
after they rejected me.
Yeah,
I
the
can't
horns
do it.
down, horns down.
So
Yeah,
I gotta take IU here, even though I do think Texas is better. I think IU could definitely win that game though.
so you have IU in
Because
the
once
final
again,
four?
Texas has good guard play, but who's
Dude,
guarding
I think we
Trace?
have a little bit of bias on the bracket because as much as I love our team and I love the school, I don't think they win. Like,
Here's
you
the
got,
thing: I think they can easily get here.
I don't think so. Miami is
I
going to
think
be
they could beat Houston. I don't think Houston's good.
I think they could beat Houston, but I don't think they can beat Miami.
I don't know. I'm honestly more worried about
If they
Kent
beat
State.
Miami, they will easily beat Houston if they play Houston. Easily.
I'm more worried about Kent State than Miami.
I'm not
And
at
also,
all.
a lot of people pick Drake. I think Drake could win. Drake looks really good.
If Drake wins and we win, I can 100% agree that we go to the Elite Eight. But if not, if we have to play Miami, I really think Miami will upset us.
Because I think IU will beat any of the four that
I
comes out
agree.
here.
Well, maybe Iowa did. I mean, Iowa's got the momentum against us. Maybe maybe our revenge will be out
Iowa's
there,
not
but
beating us 3 times. That's not gonna.
maybe.
Okay, and then last region we have mostly the same, except okay. So I looked at I saw a ton of people picking UConn over Kansas,
Oh yeah, I know. I did too. But that's why I just think that
and so
UConn.
I looked at the numbers. The numbers say UConn's better. They have better efficiency. They have a terrific big man, Sonogo. All of the numbers were telling me take UConn. So I took UConn.
See, I don't just go by numbers. I go based on history too. What team has been proven to do better in the tournament?
And also, my thing with I think Kansas is great. If I'm going to pick a repeat national champion, since Kansas won it last year, I want to see improvement from last year to
Fair,
this
and
year.
they don't have it.
And I think Kansas was better last year.
Correct.
So I'm not going to take them this year. And then UCLA and UConn. I mean, I talked about this for a while. I picked UCLA because it's a closer home environment. It's going to be in Vegas, the West Regional. So I took UCLA. I think UCLA is the most well-rounded because they have a great defense, and you need a good defense to win a national
Interesting.
title.
So you don't have a single number one in the
I don't trust any of the number ones. I,
huh?
I think Purdue. I think Purdue's probably the one I trust the most. But
No, KU is.
The reason I picked Marquette is because they played in the regular season, and Purdue won by 5 at home, and I think Marquette would be better the second time around.
I agree. All right, so
And
yours is
then
Marquette, Creighton, and then IU and UCLA. Interesting.
I took. I keep. Hold on.
That's all right. You chilling?
Okay, I took Marquette to beat Creighton.
That's believable. I can feel that. Okay, and then did you take IU to beat UCLA?
No, I
Okay,
took UCLA to beat
I
them.
couldn't remember which one you took. I forgot that you had IU in your final four.
And then I took UCLA
You're
here.
taking UCLA to
And
win.
then the team I think is going to win it is UCLA. I just think they're the most well-rounded. They have the best defense, or one of the
They're
best.
actually the most winning team, so I mean it's
They
possible.
have Amari Bailey, Tyler Campbell, Hawkes, um, Bona, their big man, was out against Arizona, but he's supposed to be. I can't remember if he was out against Arizona or had like limited minutes. They said he's supposed to come back. And
Even if he doesn't come back to like the round 2 or 3, they'll still win.
they still almost beat. And they are going to have one of their starters out, but a lot of teams do better with a starter out. It's weird. I just think they're the most complete team.
By the way, speaking of that, you heard that IU's appealing for X-Man to come back for another year.
He is. They said he's coming back.
Well, no. Well, they did they actually get the appeal approved?
I thought they did.
I didn't see that they actually got it approved because once you play 11 games, technically that counts as your eligible season. He played 12, and they're trying to appeal because it was a season-ending injury. So if they get it approved, though, he technically
They'll
has
win
another year
it.
of
I
eligibility.
I I would hope so.
Yeah, well, they said they should. They feel like they can win it,
I
but
think it's better to keep X-Man out and then have him come next year.
well, no, he actually can't play. Apparently, like they reevaluated him, and he's actually still not good. I know people
I mean,
keep
they've
saying
been
they
playing
kept him
fine.
out on purpose, but I think that he's actually still hurt.
I mean, they've been playing fine without him. But that's my
True.
bracket. You want
Very
to
different.
you want to grade it? I mean,
I mean, I don't hate it. I do think that you're pushing it with IU. It really depends on who wins the first game. If IU, like I said, if Kent State loses to us, and then honestly, if Miami ends up losing to Drake, I think we go to the at least Elite Eight. I don't think we beat. I know you said you can't pick Texas, but I mean, if we have to play Texas, I just feel like they've got the better. They've got a true center. We have a 6'7" power forward.
here's
Like
one
I
thing
love
I will
Trace,
say:
but
Miami is 40th in efficiency. They're 131 in
we're only
defense.
30th. Like we're not that far above
But
them.
we're pretty well rounded in both categories. But like
I
UCLA is
guess.
first in defense, 25th in offense. I think they just them and UConn's 18 defense, 6 offense.
I mean, Kansas is 27 in D or 7 in D, which is why I think that they're
7 in
gonna.
D and 20 in offense. I just
Arizona, dude, Arizona. I didn't realize they were that good. Yo, they're
they're
9-4.
No, they're 41st in defense, fourth in
Oh
offense.
no, I was looking at something else. I was looking at turnovers, I guess.
Alabama's yeah, Houston has the best overall
Yeah,
efficiency.
but that's just
Marquette
because they
is
haven't played
seventh in
anybody.
offense, 40. The thing about Marquette though, they're 48th in defense. I've seen them like shut teams down defensively though.
Creighton isn't bad though. 16 and 27.
But like I've seen Marquette like shut teams down on defense.
Dude, Baylor is so bad. Their defense is horrendous.
They're
Holy
100 and they're
crap.
second in offense, 104.
Yeah,
That's
but
why I don't think they'll beat Creighton because their
that's fair.
defense is not good enough. Iowa though is 166 in defense and third
Well,
in
yeah,
offense.
they had horrible defense, but they were just efficient.
Rutgers was fifth. I was surprised Rutgers didn't get in. By the way,
I
Rut,
don't, I'm surprised a lot of them didn't get in. Like
Rut,
the fact
and then they lost to Hofstra in the NIT.
I know the NIT was crazy. I
But
don't
they're
even know,
they're
bro.
fifth in defense and 152 in offense.
No, that's crazy. Honestly, actually, you know what? I may hang on.
But like Missouri's all the way down here. I think Missouri easily loses. Missouri's 179. I think Missouri easily loses to Utah State. But like
Okay.
if you look down here, like when it comes to looking for like upsets, you want to find teams that are like really good in one category. Like Furman's 33 in offense, which for like Furman
Fair.
is pretty good. There was another one here. I think Oral Roberts is down here. I think. Yeah, they Oral Roberts is 22 in offense. So
Okay. All right, hang on. Before we end this, I'm going to give me a second.
I can pull up my women's bracket if you want to
That's
look.
literally what I have mine up. I'm gonna pull mine up really quick. Hang on. I'm gonna take over for a sec while you get yours up.
I don't know how to switch it on computer to women's.
I got it.
Yeah, how do you switch it to the women's tournament challenge?
Uh, are you on ESPN?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't use ESPN. I hate ESPN for brackets.
I did make a bracket where I just picked IU to win it all.
I did too. I have two brackets. I have one for IU and one for South Carolina. Well, you'll find out. I mean, it's the obvious
I
choice.
say one man one bracket, but you are allowed a silly bracket.
Well, that's what I do. I have an official bracket and then I have a silly bracket. What I want to happen. All right, so can you see this?
Hold on, I'll pull up teams. Did you start sharing your screen?
Yeah. It's
I,
saying that you can see it. I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know.
you can't.
It's fine. The women's bracket I think is pretty straightforward until you get to the final four.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can see. Oh no, you can't see it. Can you?
It's fine. Just talk about it.
Okay. Anyway, if you can't see it, we'll figure it out, I guess. Um, oh, here we go. I got it now. Now you can see it. There
Okay.
we go. Um, okay. So obviously here in the what is this? They don't even have the South or whatever. They just have the Greenville one. Um, obviously the most obvious South Carolina is going to pretty much run away with this. But I think the women's Marquette team will upset University of Southern Florida. Marquette is pretty good at both women's and men's this year. Oklahoma, UCLA. For women's, most of the time it really is like unlike men, it's really the better seeds win. Like there's not as many upsets when it comes to women's.
Well,
Um,
because the higher seed hosts, it's a home game.
for the first two rounds, but I mean, like even once you get into Sweet 16, Elite Eight, like usually the better teams just win. Like, because there are distinctly better teams in women. Um, so yeah, first round I have South Carolina, Marquette, Oklahoma, UCLA, Creighton at number 6 seed in both women's and in men's, which is pretty funny. And Notre Dame, and then I have Arizona and I have Maryland. Um, I have Maryland moving on against Notre Dame, and I have South Carolina moving on against UCLA. And then I have South Carolina and Maryland, with South Carolina advancing to the Final Four. Um, I know you guys can see who I picked and everything, but it's okay. Stanford, I think has a pretty easy road. Old Miss and Gonzaga, they're both okay, but they're not like teams that I'm sitting here like they're gonna go anywhere. There are a lot of 8 and 9 seed teams that you like, especially in men's, that you look at and you're like, oh, they can go somewhere, but I'm not really seeing that. I do think that Texas plays Louisville, and I think Louisville gets the upset over Texas. I think Louisville's women's team is actually pretty decent. Colorado and Duke. I think Duke will win that, and then I think Georgia upsets Florida State, and then they lose to Iowa. Dude, Iowa's gonna be ridiculous in the tournament. Caitlin Clark is just stupid good. Like I don't like her anymore, but like even I can't deny the fact that she's good. It's going to be Iowa Duke, and then I think Stanford plays Iowa, and I honestly think Iowa advances. Iowa's got a pretty easy road. Stanford is going to be their only
I
challenge.
don't think Stanford is very good.
Stanford's okay. That's what I said. Like Stanford is okay. They're always a solid team, but I think Iowa will beat them. On this side here, Indiana will win the first two rounds easily. They've got home court, which I will be at hopefully both games. I will at least be at this game where I think we will also play Miami. I think Miami's women's team is better than Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's looked good, but Miami's team has just been more like I guess consistent with their wins and like they don't lose to like easier games. Um, I think Washington State or Washington University is pretty good. Um, let's see. I don't even know who this is.
Florida
FGCU. I
Gulf
don't.
Coast. I know they have a pretty
They're
good
not.
team.
They're okay, but they're like. I think it's one of those teams that made it in on a technicality because they won their conference. Like they're not great. Um, Nova and then Cleveland State. Nova will win. Um, And then Michigan is actually a pretty decent team. We played them. And then LSU will beat Hawaii. North Dakota or not North Dakota, North Carolina State will win against Princeton, and then Utah will beat G Web, and then Utah will play LSU, and I think LSU will honestly move on. We will beat Miami. Nova will beat them, and then we will beat Nova. It's going to be IU against LSU, and I think that IU will move on. Here, Virginia Tech, USC. I think they'll both win.
I didn't know Virginia Tech was like good. I hadn't heard about them
No,
like that.
they're pretty good this year. Yeah, they were one of the teams that started out like they looked like they were going to struggle, and then they like were good. Um, Tennessee was good. We played them and we beat them earlier in the season, and like we beat them pretty easily. But they're still a good team, so I think they'll win. Iowa State here will win. I can't see with that in the way. Um, okay, then let's see here. I think North Carolina will win. They're also a good team. I think they'll probably play Purdue. God hate Purdue. Um, UNC was a good team when we played them. Purdue was okay. They just got lucky a lot of the time, but we still beat them. What was Ohio State? I think Ohio State will win this. They're another good Big Ten team. I would love to see Ohio State play Purdue though, just to see Ohio State also beat Purdue. Um, Baylor, I think Baylor will beat Bama here, and I think UConn will win. UConn is the team that I feel like is gonna if there's gonna be a team besides that's like gonna be a sleeper, I think it would be a UConn here. UConn kind of fell off from the last couple years where they've been a number one seed. Um, but I think they'll beat Baylor. They'll play UNC. I think UNC is just a little bit better than OSU. They just haven't been as consistent. Um, and I think that we'll see UConn advance. But I think Virginia Tech honestly loses to Tennessee. Virginia Tech has been good, but like I think Virginia Tech is like surprised that they're here, and so they're gonna like ride the hype train, and then Tennessee's gonna be like, "Ha, no." Um, so I think UConn ends up beating Tennessee. And our final four, I think South Carolina takes on Iowa, and IU takes on UConn. I think that both the number one seeds win. If this was reversed, I could honestly see something different because you're looking at a Big Ten matchup over here. It would be interesting. Um, so I think it's going to be South Carolina against IU. Sadly, as much as I wish they could get one, South Carolina is just so good. Like
I
they're
think we have
ridiculous.
like almost pick for pick the exact same bracket, except I just took IU in the final just because I want them to win.
Correct. And this is
I have
like
the
my
same
normal
final
bracket.
four. I think we even have the same Elite Eight.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, like usually, like if you watch any women's games, you can easily predict the bracket. Like not easily, but like you can get pretty close.
If
I
it's
think
not that
it'll
final
be
four, I'd
close.
be shocked.
I will too. So, but no. Oh crap! I didn't mean to hit that again. Um, but see, this is my second bracket. Like it's I really what I did is I actually autoed it, which is so funny. I clicked auto pick and it just did the higher seeds. So I just was like, yeah, let's just do a all ones final four. And then I was like, yeah, I want IU to win. So I took IU, and it picked South Carolina against IU, and I took IU. Um, so yeah, that's the hope. Now are we gonna win? Maybe. Like I feel like we honestly, if Iowa loses, we have the best chance of beating them. Like honestly. So um, Yeah, that's pretty much mine. I don't know. You said we have the same picks pretty much, so
I
I'm
have the
not.
same Final Four, and I just picked IU to beat South Carolina.
Yeah. I wish we could go to that game, but it's in Houston. Which I do have to say, if or no, it's not in Houston. Is it?
It's
Yeah,
in.
they're both in
I think the
Houston.
women's is in Dallas.
Okay. Well, I would have to say if the Houston makes it to the championship game, that's an easy W for them because it's
I
in
don't think they
Houston.
will though. I think they'll choke.
Really? You think they'll choke in the final game in Houston?
No, I think they'll choke before they even get there.
No, I know. I'm
They
just
haven't
saying. But
played anyone
if they
all.
make it,
They haven't played anyone.
I know that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I don't think. Is there anything else you want? I mean, if you want to talk just like basic news, we can, or if you just want to end it there.
We could just end it there. That's all I really
Okay.
want to do.
Okay. Yeah,
Hold
I'm
on,
gonna do
wait.
it. I'm
They
definitely
just
doing a video
they
for
put something
NFL.
out about Brandon Miller. Hold on. I just got an alert.
Oh, interesting. Let's see.
Eleanor
Title?
star Brandon Miller was accompanied by armed security to the NCAA tournament on Wednesday because of threats directed his way, Coach Nate Oates said. If you guys
Oh
saw
yeah,
what
I
I've
got it too.
seen, Oates said that one of the extra protections, okay, basically he had to like get the SWAT team to like smuggle him into the stadium.
That's
Um,
crazy.
to
By the
me,
way,
here's the thing though, he really didn't do anything wrong if you look at the story.
if you look at the story, correct, but I mean,
I
I still
still
don't.
want Alabama to lose more than
It
anything.
has nothing to do with that. I just feel like if something like that happens, your immediate response should not be to go play a basketball game.
I guess, yeah.
You know what I'm
We've
saying?
talked
Like that.
about this before.
Yeah, we talked about this on the last Williams Buddy. I just don't feel like that just shows that you just don't care about the
I
situation.
thought it was something that like he got arrested, but it just like popped up. Brandon Miller.
Also, what was I gonna say? Oh, we were talking about this a minute ago. There's actually in the past 15 years no past champion has ever made it past the Sweet 16. So we'll
Rip.
see
That's
if
a Sweet
KU
16.
can do it.
Yeah, that's why I have Kansas losing in the Sweet 16 this
Yeah,
year.
I know, but I think they can win it again. But also biggest news, it's pretty much finalized. Have you seen the new Jets lineup? Is going to be ridiculous, bro.
Is Rodgers like officially going to the Jets?
He pretty much flat out said, "I want to play there." He goes, "I just need them to work out the trade," and he told the Jets exactly the free agents he wants them to sign. They've already
Yeah,
signed two
I
of them.
saw that.
Yeah, and dude, I can't even imagine Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, and Odell Beckham. That's going to be ridiculous.
Randall
And
Cobb won't
Corey
do
Davis.
anything. He's old.
Oh, he won't do anything, but he's just going to be Aaron's check down receiver, like his check down receiver, just for a quick slant.
Yeah.
But no, that it's going to be a ridiculous team. Oh my gosh, bro. Um, but yeah, I don't think there's anything else for this, so I think we'll stop it there. We may record another episode for the IU game. Maybe I don't know. We can think about it.
We'll think. Yeah, we'll see.
Just like a talk about it. But I don't think if we don't do that, we'll be back next Friday. Like not this Friday, next Friday for our welcome back episode. But yeah, I think that's it. So thanks you guys for tuning in. Make sure once again hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our social media. I'll make sure to put the links for both Quincy's bracket challenge in the description, and I'll also put the one for our Bloomington buddies down there. But yeah, until next time, thanks for watching with us, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
All right, Lil, y'all.